Well, welcome back to the channel. Once again, we have a little project here. We're getting ready for tractor pulling 2024. Sitting right there is my Allis 185 puller. First thing I've done so far is increase the size of the plates on the wheelie bars right there. I had a 3x3 plate, and the new rules we're going to pull by requires a 4x4 plate. So I had some old scrap steel here. I think that's about, I don't know, 5/16, 3/8 steel. And I cut some squares out and welded onto the existing plates that I already had on the wheelie bars. This one got a little bit funky. I don't know how I got that cut crooked, but it's 4 inches here. It's like 3 7/8 or 3 3/4 down here. If they don't like it, tough. Who's going to measure it? Anyway, that's one of the things I've gotten done so far. Second thing I'm going to do, you can see I got a line here, a black line there, and a black line down there. That should be plumb. I'm going to cut them off, cut this piece of bar out of here, and move these up here, which number one will raise them up in the air a little bit. I've never had a problem with the front end coming up with this much. A couple of times it has come up on me on depends on the track I'm on, but the tracks that I usually pull on, I don't have a problem with the front end coming up. But anyway, I'm going to move them up so there's a little bit more. See, that's a 6x6 block there, so that's 5.5 inches or 5 5/8 tall. You can see how much lower than that I am. I'm probably only about 3.5 inches here underneath that plate, maybe 4 inches under that plate. And I want to get a little bit more room. I'd like to get this tractor balanced to where it just carries the front end. Right now, it's front end heavy. Like I say, the front end seldom comes off the ground, depending on where I'm at. Pulling, that's the front end up there, obviously. It's the front of the tractor. But here's some of my lists, things I'm going to work on. Move the wheelie bars forward. I'm going to build a new hitch for it here. This hitch works, but it's flexible. I'm just using that drawbar off of the tractor. That's the drawbar. And it's hooked up underneath the frame, up underneath in front there, in the center of the tractor, just like the typical drawbar would hook with a pin down through it, to hook it up in there. And all this bar sticking out here, it has flex. It will flex. So that you lose a little bit in the down pressure on the back tires to get more down pressure and to, kind of that fulcrum effect to get the front end to raise up a little bit. So I've designed a new hitch here. I'm going to try it. I'm going to build it. I got to go buy some steel. I don't have enough steel to build that with, but it's not going to take much. I think if I get a 2 foot by 4 foot piece of 3/8 plate, that should be plenty to build, and I'll have some left over. So I'm going to build a new hitch. I'm going to utilize this hook or this, the ring that I got there. I'm just going to refashion it a little bit. I have to elongate this hook right here, this hole. Now the rule is the holes have to be 3 inches wide by 3 3/4 long. This is a 3-inch circle. So I got to elongate that by 3/4 of an inch. Because they got a new hook design, rule changes. It's safety, which is okay, that's fine. But over some things that happened last year, they want some new changes, which is fine. We can do that. I got to get a ring for my shut off. Right now, I just got the cable sticking up for my guillotine. I'm going to get one of those cable hickeys for in here. I forget what you call them. But it's just that'll make a big, I'm not going to put a ring in there. I'm going to put that cable thing in here. It's shaped just like that. And it'll fit in there and tighten that down. That'll be my hook. That'll work. I'd like to make a tilt hood for the tractor. I've got it figured out how to do it. and how to and still support the radiator. So I'm probably going to try and work on making a tilt hood. Reason being, now the tractor is going to have to be teched, and in order to get into my turbocharger, you got to take the hood clear off. And I don't want to be trying to take that hood off and then get it back on and stuff out, in at a tractor pull. So I'm going to try and make a tilt hood that'll tilt up so you can get it to turbo to tech it. Change of tires. I'm going to have to change. I'm going to put different tires on it. I got a set of 18438 SAT super all traction tire radials, uncut tires. I need to get them and cut. These are top cuts. These aren't full cuts. Top cuts are just the top of the bar has been shaved down. I did this myself by hand with a grinder. Burned up, I think 3 Harbor Freight 4.5-inch grinders doing it. Good. I bought the warranty. I took them back, put them on the counter, said, it's junk. They give me another one. Took it back, put on the counter. It's junk. Give me another one. I did it 3 times till I got these tires all cut. And I used a 60 grit or a 40 grit 4.5-inch disc to grind these with. Man, I had black stuff everywhere from cutting them, but it worked good. It cut them good. These tires pull good. Everybody that's beating me was running SAT tires. So you know what they say. If you find out what successful people do and copy that. So I'm going to copy what the successful people and put SAT tires and see if that makes a difference. Let's see, wheels and steel plate. I'm working on these wheels over here. I'll show you that in just a minute. I'll walk over and see what I'm doing to these wheels today. I also want to put wheel weight. I've got some 150-pound wheel weights I'm going to put on these so I don't have to move so many suitcase weights whenever we go to a pull. I'm already going to have a bunch on there. Then I'm going to make a platform. I'm going to take all this off of here, take down in under here where my seat is at. A little hard to see from, maybe you can see it from the front. Oh, got hooked on that. See it from the front a little bit better. But I'm going to take and make a platform across here. Make a flat platform straight across here from side to side. And then I'm either going to build a ROPS canopy or see about getting a fully enclosed canopy for the roll cage. Getting a roll cage to put on it. I know a guy that builds them. I can't afford his prices, and it's nothing wrong with him. Just I'm cheap and don't have the money. I'm an old retired guy. I'm on a fixed income. Yeah, but you're building a pulling tractor, dude. Yeah, I digress. Anyway, see about getting the roll cage, have him bend it up and stuff, and then I'll weld it together myself and put it on. That would work out for me. Probably have to relocate that battery. That's a pain in the butt. It was a pain in the butt doing that, but it worked out. It really worked great. And that one battery, that's a 950 cranking amp, will crank my motor even whenever it's warm. It'll crank it over and start it. So I'm very happy with that. I bought a new starter on it, so that helps matters too. And then use good heavy cables and stuff, on it. So anyway, project for today. I bought these wheels probably 5 years ago, maybe not 5, I don't recall. So long that I've had them, I don't remember how long I've had them. And I put some work into them. And I found these centers. These were off of John Deere. And they came out like this, but they rolled up like this and didn't have a flat spot on them. They were round. They were rounded the whole way around the circle there. And I got to looking at that. I found a John Deere, 6,000 something, 5,000, like a 50, 80 or whatever the numbers of them John Deeres are. The newer modern John Deere. And they have a wheel center shaped just like this. with the squares and everything, and that's how theirs are. So I fashioned this. I cut this out and fashioned it to fit like that is with those lugs on, those ears in 4 places, just like that. And then I took this steel plate, 1/2-inch steel plate that was bar stock, and fixed it and welded it. And I welded both sides of it. And I used my big L-Tech MIG Master sitting over there to weld them in. I used 035 wire and cranked the heat up and burned it in. And I got pretty decent welds. Let's see, this one right here underneath me. This in here got a little bit of holes and porosity in it. That one there is nice and clean. That one's clean. This one has a good bit of porosity and holes in it. And I don't like those. And it just scares me a little bit. When I build them, I was feeling real confident. Yeah, that'll work. But now that I'm getting to the point where I think I'm going to try and run them, they're scaring me a little bit. So what I'm going to do, it's not a big deal, is I'm just going to grind them down like I got this one ground down. Just get all of them ground down on the back side here. I'm not going to do the front side. The front side look really good. I'm just going to do the back side. And I'm going to take my stick welder, my Trailblazer 280, and run 1/8 rod. And I'm just going to run beads and just fill that all in and build that up on the back side here with weld, just to make sure they're good and tight and that they're not going to break off. Going down the track, not only would that be a heck of a thing to have happen, it'd be embarrassing as all get out. You can see here, here's the other one. Here's the other wheel. Them aren't bad looking welds. They're in there good. I think they're pretty good welds. I don't know. I'm not the world's best welder. I can make sparks on the end of the rod. Anyway. But anyhow, so I'm going to back them up on the back side. Well, this would be the back side on this one. What am I doing? This is the back side on this one. Yeah, there's the front side on this one. Yeah, they're welded in there pretty good. For a guy that only about half knows what he's doing, that ain't too bad. Yeah. So anyway, so that's today's project, is to work on these wheels and try and get that welding done today. So as I get some more stuff done here, I'll come back and show you the progress. Get a couple of them welded up there and show you the progress, what it's looking at, how it's coming along. The other thing I am going to do, though, I built these ears. Oh, let's use this wheel over here. I built these ears on these wheels, thinking, that'll be all right. That'll hold. That's 1/2-inch plate, man. But now I'm getting nervous about it. So I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to cut 3/8 plate and weld from here on an angle about 5 inches or 4 inches long. Just fill that corner in right there. Fill that corner in right there. Make a gusset in there and weld it in. They're just making me nervous. I'm an old man and you think about stuff more. When you get old, try it. That's just the way it is. When you get older, you think about stuff more. You do. Because, life experience tells you that didn't work. So you got to think about this. So I'm going to weld gussets in all these here just to stiffen them, just to make sure them ears don't break out, bust off of there. This is the only one that I got a little too deep on that might really have a chance of breaking out because of that. The rest of these don't look too bad. I didn't get too deep on them. I did them with a torch. And then where this was beveled up this way on this curve like this. Once I cut these out, I heated these along here and bent them down flat to meet these plates. And bent them and so that they fit. And then I drilled them by hand. Holy cow, did my shoulders hurt from doing that, because that drill bit would catch and throw me and twist my shoulders and twist my arms. After I did the first one, I said, I ain't doing that no more, and I went and bought a mag drill. So now I got a mag drill to drill these kind of stuff in. There ain't no way I'm drilling them by hand no more. Anyway, all right, project for today. Like I say, I get a couple of welds in here, get a couple of these done, and I'll come back, show you the progress. Okay, there we are. We're done welding. I run 3 passes on the back side of each one of these stands, let's call them. And they come out pretty good. I run the 1/8 inner weld 7018. I'm not too sure I like inner weld. I'm an old McKay welding rod guy. I really liked McKay. They were sweet welding rods. Man, you could run them vertical, overhead, everything. Really nice. Now these, you can see here, I set the wheel up on the wheel itself. I didn't let it lay down. That's what I'm trying to say. Because after I got to looking at it, I thought I'd be better off to build those welds up if I had the wheel standing up. So I stood the wheel up. There's what my welds look like. You'll never hear me say I am a good welder. I can weld for me good enough. That may not pass somebody else's quality, but it's good enough for me. So anyway, they all come out pretty nice though. I do think this 1/2-inch plate steel that I have here, I think that plate steel is kind of junk steel. I buy whatever the steel supplier has. You don't know what you're getting. If that's Chinese, Japanese, Korean, who knows where it come from. But in the first pass, up against this, now on the wheel, it was welding real nice to the wheel, but I was getting porosity a lot up against this piece of 1/2-inch plate steel. So I cleaned it up really, really good and then welded over that and welded it in. And then it started to clean up by the third pass. You can see the third pass, they're all cleaned up. They're not bad. They come out pretty nice. That's 3 passes on there. And it worked out just perfect that the length of each pass was 1 full welding rod. I didn't have to break in the center, or, I didn't have too much welding rod left over. So, but that's it. That's welding the wheels up, stiffening those plates on there that the wheel centers bolt to. Once I get them done here, then I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna fill these in right in here. I'm gonna fill them in. That's still hot. I'm gonna fill them in right there on put gussets in there to make sure them's good and stiff. And then I'm gonna run them wheels. We'll tractor pull with them. We'll see what happens. We'll give her a try and see if they hold up. If they hold up, terrific. If they break, and I'm gonna look like a dummy for doing that, but we'll see. I think they're going to be all right. I'm only running, what am I running? 130, 150 horsepower. I'm not even at 200 horsepower, so I don't think. I may be. I don't think I am though. But there's no way to tell the horsepower of that tractor without taking the motor out of the tractor and putting it on a dyno, because I tore the power takeoff and everything out. So anyway, you can't hook up to a dyno anyway, except take the motor out and bolt it into the dyno. And anyway, we're not doing that. At least not for right now. We're not. So there it is. Here's how you can see how they welded through on the backside. I had one burn through just a little bit. I'll have to take the grinder and grind that. I'm going to clean all these up, and I'm going to paint the inside of the wheel before I ever put tubes on there. Clean that all up good and everything. And then I think I'd like to run silver wheels with white centers, but I don't know if I'm going to get that ambitious. I may just paint it all. That's international white right there. I may just paint them all white and just run all white wheels and be done with it. I don't know. I like silver on white. That's the only reason I say that. So, and the other thing is about these wheels, they are offset a little bit. They are not dead center. They are offset. I think there's more to the inside here. Right now, this would be the inside of the wheel. That would be the outside. There's more to the inside. I could take these off and flip these over, and that would turn the wheel around. That would put the wider side out and the thinner side in, and put more That would widen my stance, widen my wheel, or the width of the wheels. I don't think I need that. I just did it that way just in case. I don't think I need that though. Anyhow, that's it. That's welding up the stiffeners on the brackets on my wheels, getting ready for tractor pulling 2024. Hope this gives somebody some ideas and some little bit of self-confidence. If, like I say, if I can do it, you can do it. Man, I ain't no rocket scientist. I'm just an old guy that grew up with a grandpap that was a do-it-yourselfer, and he always took me along. Yeah, I did want to say that. My grandpap always took me along with him. That's on my mom's side. My grandpap on my dad's side, he was a good man, but he was a book reader. That was his thing. And that's, God bless him for that. That, I'm not much of a book reader. I can read, you know what I mean, but to sit down and read a whole book, it just ain't me. But my grandpap on my mom's side, he was a do-it-yourselfer, man. He welded, he run bulldozer, he worked coal strips, he did this, and then repaired, and then did repairs and stuff like that, and on the coal strips and stuff, and worked on his own cars and stuff, and changed his own oil, that kind of stuff. And that's what I grew up with, and then my dad was kind of the same way. So so that's why I do my own stuff. That's why I don't pay someone to do it. I can do it myself. Why should I pay someone to do this kind of stuff? Now, there's some stuff I got to pay for, but this isn't it. Anyway, again, I hope you like this video. Gives you some self-confidence. Like I say, if I can do it, you can do it. I guarantee you. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. So anyway, thanks for watching. God bless you. See you later.